Hello, another little vlog. I didn't do one last weekend because I didn't really have anything much to say. I know for views and stuff and subscribers you're supposed to keep plugging away, but as usual I don't think I'm going to just produce something if I've got nothing much to say. Although I think I won't produce it if I have nothing to say, but I had nothing to say last weekend, so no video. This week I've got a little bit, not much, but stuff. I was thinking about how YouTube and Facebook and so on are starting to get into the censorship thing now, and they're starting to have to control what's permitted on their platforms because the governments of the world are starting to harass them to do so. And obviously if you're big, a huge company like them, you really have to comply because it's going to cost you lots of money otherwise, and your business ultimately. So yes, they're being taken over by mediocrity. The interesting bloggers and whatnot are going to be removed. You'll be left with people like me instead. Obviously criminal people shouldn't be sticking their stuff up there anyway, but at least they're interesting. Now there is a possibility that like blockchain based decentralized social platforms can develop so that, like with the Bitcoin currency, there is no person actually controlling it. It's once the system is set going, it just runs. Okay, people download the software onto their computers and it does it. Nobody's in control, and therefore it can't easily be regulated. It may be possible to block it with suitably chosen viruses and things of that sort, but it's a lot more difficult than applying pressure to some corporation to tell them to block this hate speech or something. Not I'm in favour of hate speech, but I'm in favour of people being permitted to say what they think. And if what they think is offensive, well, it's offensive to some people and probably not to others. And so what? Basically. I notice there are some decentralized blockchain platforms, but they're not going to be capable of taking the huge amount of data that Facebook or YouTube take on board as yet. You need a lot of capacity, and I don't think the capacity is there for 400 hours of YouTube videos every minute uploaded. Can't see that happening very easily. But maybe when blockchain technology is improved a bit, we can move away from the corporates altogether, and they will no longer be able to control what goes on the internet. Instead, the internet itself will have to be modulated or controlled, and there is talk of doing this already, making it chargeable, like we pay for our ISPs anyway, but no, they want to make it more chargeable, because it was always intended to be not free. It was sold, I think, in the first place as being free and freedom of speech and all that, and now that everybody's got it and is dependent on it, they're locking it down, because that's the way the world works, right? But again, you can use the underweb or the dark web or something if you really want to. I'm not interested in that, but it's there. And I guess if the internet becomes too locked down or expensive or something, well, maybe an alternative will develop spontaneously. But the thing is getting people to use it, isn't it? The nerds will use it perhaps out of interest, but the majority of the general public will just not, almost certainly. So, there you go. The future of the internet, maybe. Now, it's about time I did some more sightseeing videos. The weather's good, it's cold, winter's coming on. It's still autumn, I suppose, technically. But it's sunny day today, and it's cold though. But I did not feel like going out with my massive camera and stabilizer and walking around and stuff. And I haven't done for a while. And actually, I've decided I'm going to get a different camera. Because the new GoPro Hero 7 Black is out. And that has built-in stabilisation. It can do 4K at 60 frames a second or even more. And instead of weighing 2.5 kilos like my camera and stabiliser do at the moment, I have a Nikon D3300 and a big stabiliser. This thing is 116 grams or something. And it has built-in stabilisation. You can walk and run with it and it's still rock steady, going by the publicity videos. So I think that will be great, because I will no longer feel like, oh my god, you know, can I get out with this thing? And there'll be no trouble with getting the stabiliser to actually support the camera and balancing it and all this stuff. So, trouble is I've got to spend money on it. And it's £349 plus some accessories. Call it 500, I don't know. I'll get a little handheld tripod thing just to make it more easy to control. I've got to get a microphone adapter because I don't really want to rely on the built-in mic. Or built-in mics, I think it has several. So yes, there'll be some bits. And we'll see. I think the microphone accessory is going to be a while arriving, apparently, but the camera might even arrive tomorrow. I don't know, if I order it today. I'm in no hurry. I can't do anything much till next weekend because I've got to go to work. I say tomorrow, I mean Monday, because today's Saturday. I can't really justify the expenditure, of course, because I'm not making any money out of YouTube. I mean, the way to do this really would be to wait until YouTube earns me enough money to buy it, then buy it. But that's, you know, at the present rate of income, that might take me 10 years. I don't know, more than that even, actually. 15. So I don't think so. I don't think I'll wait. Who knows what technology will be around then. I can probably tap the video straight from my brain or something by then. I'm not sure I want that. There may be two-way traffic, you know. Anyway. I suppose I can sell my old camera. Bit of a shame because it's really good. I mean, the videos and the photos are pin sharp, good lens. I mean, the GoPro doesn't have such a good lens. It's okay. It's not very good in low light, but I tend not to record much in low light. I did my Christmas videos in low light, and they were fine, of course, on the existing camera. I don't think the GoPro will be able to do that. At least not with the stabilisation on. I suppose I can try it with it off. I'll have to experiment. I don't know. But if I want to pay for it, I'll probably have to sell the old camera kit. I'll wait till I'm rich and then I can buy a better model or something. I don't know if I need it. It was intended for buying photos for taking photos in the first place, and I'm not doing much of that. I'm concentrating more on video for YouTube. Although I have loads of photos, I'm not processing them. I'm not uploading them to the stocks. I did put a job on Upwork to hire somebody to do that for me, but I don't feel like doing it. So I'm not. I don't know why, but I just don't want to. I'm not going to theorise about it. It's whatever the universe wants, right? One thing about the GoPro is it can do 60 frames a second or 120 frames a second, whereas my existing camera does 30. So I might record in 60 frames a second, so it'll be that much smoother. Because I notice sometimes, obviously when panning, you have to pan very slowly, otherwise it looks a bit jerky. So at 60 frames a second it will definitely look better. I know there is this myth going around that humans can't see faster than 24 frames a second, but it's not true. That was just a story put about by the mainstream media in the old days to sell their least viable, or then, yeah, the least viable product, whatever it's called, the worst possible product that people would actually accept, which was 24 frames a second in the cinemas. If you actually do the experiment, you can see improved quality up to about 140 to 150 frames a second. So that's more like what the human eye can detect. But looking at videos on YouTube, 60 frames a second is okay. 4K is really good. But my problem with even 60 frames a second is actually the video sizes, the file sizes will be huge. As it is, my hour-long 30 frame per second videos tend to be about 5 gigabytes. So at 60 frames a second, I suppose it's going to be 10 gigabytes. All this needs storage. I mean, I could just discard them, I suppose, after uploading them, but I'm a backup fanatic, so I keep them all. On the other hand, storage is getting cheaper and cheaper. It's just a bit of a headache managing it. Not much of a headache, a bit. Yeah. So that's what's coming up next, I think. Also, Skyrim. I keep meaning to record some more episodes, but I'm going through a lazy phase. So I haven't done it. You'd think it would be fun, but when I get home from work, lately I just haven't wanted to. I might record some episodes this weekend and get back into the swing of it. I don't know. I'm planning to get on with it, though. I've done 60 episodes. I estimate there's another 30 or 40 to go. I don't know, really. Maybe more. But I need to get on with it. We've had another earthquake in Indonesia this week, and a tsunami as well. A couple of meters. You've probably seen it in the news. I just had this mad thought. You know, why do people live in these dangerous places? I mean, obviously they've got no choice, really. I was thinking, well, look, they can all... There's 260 million. Let them all migrate to Britain. We don't get earthquakes here. And if there's a bit of overflow here, we can put them in... They can be housed in other people's houses, yes. They can camp in the bedrooms and stuff. Or if they spill over, they can all go to Germany, because Angela Merkel wants everybody to move there, doesn't she? Yeah. Although actually, in truth, I think Indonesia might be quite a nice place to live if you've got the money for it, actually. Not so good if you're having to work for a living and all that. But at least you've got this tropical climate, which Britain doesn't have. They're telling us we're going to get cold winter here. Yeah, I'm not serious about people moving over here in 260 million type numbers. It's just some weird thought that came into my head from out of the blue. Yeah. Anyway. I started talking about something else then and I've forgotten it completely. Don't. Oh yeah, the climate. Yeah, we're going to have the newspapers about a week ago were saying, oh, we're in for a long, hot autumn. And actually, it is sunny, but it's not hot at the moment. So maybe we'll get an Indian summer, a warm October. That happens quite often. But they're saying we're going to get a cold winter as well, with lots of snow. Great, I suppose. Well, I like snow up to a point, but it does make it difficult to get to work. And it does, because they insist on spraying salt over everything, it ruins your shoes. And it doesn't get rid of the snow, it just turns it into ice, which makes it slippery. One thing I've been thinking of, I was thinking about, should I go on holiday next year? I've used up most of my holiday allowance for this year from work. I've got a few days left, that's it. But then I saw online Vipassana meditation retreats. It's kind of a boot camp for the brain. And I'm wondering, they're 10 days though, so that's like a big chunk of my holiday gone at a stroke if I go on one. And they are kind of boot camp like. You get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you have breakfast at something like 6:30, you have lunch at about 12, vegan or vegetarian of course, and probably no more food, or maybe a bit of fruit or tea at about 5 in the afternoon, and that's it. And you're spending 10 hours a day meditating under guidance. So you learn, I think, 3 different meditation techniques, and you really drill yourself with them and get good at them. Because at the moment I don't do that much meditation. I do bits in my everyday life. I don't normally sit down and formally do it. I tend to instead keep my awareness going as I'm going around my normal life. Instead, or as well, because I feel that's more like the enlightened state. But probably I could do with practice on meditation as well anyway. And these relatively advanced techniques that they teach, which are also good habits for the brain, would probably be very beneficial. Certainly when I see reports of them on YouTube, people are very impressed with it. It'd be interesting to see what they think about it like a year or two later. They give their reports like right afterwards. And normally right after a boot camp you're hyped up about it, you know. But I do think it could be a good idea, so I might do that for a holiday next year, in the spring sometime maybe. Well, hardly a holiday, but it's a retreat anyway. And they're free. You can give a donation if you want. So that's what I've been thinking about this week. Comments below, and I'll see you in another vlog and maybe a Skyrim video at some point soon. Bye for now.